Hi, it's Gigi. Welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who know, I've pivoted this channel where I'm focusing, in addition to Pinterest marketing, on YouTube growth strategies. So if you are a YouTuber, you probably know that it's a pretty lonely field in that there aren't, you don't have coworkers and cubicle next to you. It's kind of hard to gauge your success and track your growth because you're kind of out here on your own. However, fortunately, they have tools now these days, and one of them that I use are browser extensions, one of the oldest around for creators, called vidIQ. For those of you who don't know, I'm a creator partner with vidIQ. I host rooms for them on the audio-only app called Clubhouse twice a week these days. However, you may be unaware of the ways that vidIQ helps you identify keywords, be a better creator, curate the proper lead and audience for you, the best subscribers for you. And so I did a room inside Clubhouse identifying new ways and new features in vidIQ that can actually help you grow, get in front of the audience of those who are really having success in your niche, and other tips and tidbits. So it's going to be on the other side of this introduction, and I'll see you on the other side. So I'm going to share with you today how you can get more subscribers and how you can get more views, and specifically using vidIQ, which is an app built on top of YouTube. Now, what does it mean for an app to be built on top of another platform? So social media platforms like Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, for example, they have usually one or two functionalities. When the folks who build them, who create them, they usually have a certain number of functionalities, and they give you, their users, certain access to certain data, especially those of us who are creators, who are like, what you might call power users, versus like for YouTube, for example, the person who just goes and watch, they're valuable to YouTube. They're a really valuable part of the YouTube experience and community because you need people to watch your videos. However, then you have the creators like us, who are YouTubers, who are we actually the ones providing content and building the content. But for the most part, their app only provides a sole functionality. These social media apps. For YouTube, for example, it's to allow independent people, even, or businesses and entities, because media organizations also have YouTube channels, but it allows parties that are not related to YouTube to broadcast content to the world publicly, or to a small community if you choose to have a private YouTube channel. And then you could either do that on a pre-produced basis, where you produce the video in advance and you publish it widely and you can market it afterwards, or you can publish it on a live stream basis, whereas it's going on live. And then after it's live, both pieces of content are available on demand, right? Or someone discovers them, or you can share them, or someone discovers it by doing search, or there's other different ways, surfaces on the YouTube platform that you can get your content once it's produced and broadcast so people can see it. So that's YouTube's sole functionality, right? And they give you data inside the YouTube studio of your creator. Now, what third-party apps like vidIQ do is they build on, when I say they build on top of it, they make these apps more functional. They make them have more utility. They give you access to perhaps data that you wouldn't necessarily have, that the original app doesn't give you to you. So that's how vidIQ was formed. It was essentially an app built to help enable YouTubers harness their power, harness their data, and use their data to grow their channels, to be better creators, to serve their audiences, but even, I think even more importantly, to, get more subscribers and viewers. And so I want to talk to you guys today about 3 ways that you may or may not have known that I use it, and it's creative ways that you might not have thought about. Like, oh, okay, I see that, and I've talked about this before. And then 3 new amazing ways. One of them they told me about. The other 2 they didn't even tell me about before I did this room. I was like, oh my God, this is great. I found it. I told Hawa. I said, look what I see in vidIQ. I think I mentioned one of them. And the second one I discovered also on accident, like recently. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then there's some data that they have available that also I just discovered accidentally, that it wasn't in my dashboard before. I just, sometimes you go to these apps and like Clubhouse, for example, you just come on one day, you're like, oh, what's this? There's a back channel. Oh, what's this? I can share this room. Or what's this? Oh, this got moved and this is moved. What's this? And so you discover these things accidentally as you're actually using them in the functions that they're intended to be used in. So that's how I discovered the data, and that's how I discovered 2 of these new features. And both features have actually helped me grow my channel, helped me get more subscribers, helped me hone my my thing. So I was like, let me share this. And it's great that I'm creative partners with vidIQ, along with my sister who's not here. But and so it's wonderful when we find out these things, that we don't just keep it and hold the cards to our chest and be like, great, now I can grow by myself. Because what fun is that, just growing when you have everyone can grow and rise. They say, what is it, rising tide lifts all ships. So if I'm going up, I'm going to try to get all the ships in the sea, all the little, big, small people, all of us that come together in this big ground swell of like, boom, let's get there. So yeah, so let's get started. So before I tell you about these three new exciting new ones, let me just do a recap of the existing tools in case you don't know. And the reason why I say this is because sometimes people don't really understand fully what vidIQ does, and they kind of also they misalign it, but they describe it like, oh no, that's wrong in terms of some other tools that or other, I guess, services that are like, like paid for subs and things like that, and we're like, oh no, that's not what it is. So let me first, before I go into the three new exciting new tools, I'm gonna look at my notes, right here. Um, let's talk about the three ones that you may not know about. So the first one obviously is the SEO keyword. For those of you who don't know, if you are a creator on YouTube, especially if you're brand new, the fastest way for you to get discovered, until YouTube can index you, which is like a fancy word for categorize you. You've heard people say you have to make 100 crappy videos before you find your niche, or before YouTube can properly know what your channel is about and start actually serving up your channel and your videos to audiences who are more likely to watch it. You've heard that before. So until you get to that point, which is kind of like, whoa, okay, I just started on day 1, or I'm on day 30, and I only have like 15 videos, so I have 85 more videos to struggle like this. What the hell do you mean? So you do have opportunities to actually get a lot of views, go viral, get big, grow some subscribers on your own without necessarily using YouTube. And the way you usually do that is through search. And you probably heard people tell you this before. And essentially, in your search, when you do a search, your goal is to get content. So it's two types of things people can find you. Is when you create your content, that's why you put your keywords, find out whatever people are searching for. So if someone goes, for example, to find, I used this example in my room earlier today on a Pinterest room, how to make a DIY flower arrangement, for example. So a flower arrangement is a keyword, DIY is a keyword, a long tail keyword is how to make a DIY flower arrangement. It's a long tail keyword. So someone has a search intent, and so if you are a channel that focuses on DIY projects and one of your videos has to do exactly with that topic, that's being searched. You put those keywords in your title, you put them in your thumbnail, perhaps you put them in your description box, and that's the way you search engine optimize. So if someone's searching for that, if there's a search query, let's say, for example, there's a big fad or something like that, or meme, and everyone is doing DIY flower arrangements. It's a big deal. So then what you have now is a situation where there's a lot of people have a high search volume searching for that because it's trending. So the way you can capitalize this, because a creator who just started, who YouTube is yet to index, who YouTube is yet to figure out what you do, and you're still struggling, you're getting a lot of views. The way you can grow really super, super fast is if you do content that has a high search volume, a lot of people searching for it, and there's low competition. There's like 3 channels doing it. And I've had success in this. I have a channel that has 10 subscribers. I might have 34 right now. At 10 subscribers, I did a video on a piece of content that was trending and people were searching for it. So it's high search volume. People were searching for it. It was also trending. It was something had to do with a reality TV show star did something. And so it was trending, but there was only like, I don't know, 10 channels talking about it, like not a lot. And my little 10 sub channels talking about it. So I got 1,500 views. So I'm hoping my 10 subscribers watched it, but I've got another 1,490 people to watch that video, because it was that search. So that is how you're going to get, is the search. And so one thing vidIQ does is provide the ability for you to identify what are the competitive keywords in your niche that people are searching for, and vidIQ also lets you know the competitive nature of it. You'll see the word to make it easier. They give you a numerical number, but also to simplify it even further for you, it says high, it says medium, and so low competition. So for me, for example, I do Pinterest marketing, I also do YouTube growth. Right now, if I open up my vidIQ app, it tells me that how to start a Pinterest account is high competition. There was like 3, I don't know how many searches, I think it was like 3 million or something like that. I don't think it was 3 million. So we have to go look. But there was a lot of people searching for that topic. And then next to it, it tells me low competition because there's not a lot of channels doing. And I know that for a fact. There's like a total of 6 or 7 of us, maybe, that are just dedicated just to Pinterest. And then there's other digital marketing, social media marketing channels that cover Pinterest occasionally, but that's still just a handful. So there's low competition for all these people searching for this topic. And so because I have vidIQ, it tells me how to start a channel. So if I'm creating a video, I'm like, oh, I should do a video on that topic. In my title, I should include that in my title. In my thumbnail, I should put that in my description box. The first line should match. That's SEO. Should say, in this video, I show you how to start a Pinterest account from scratch. So that those keywords are all in there, and then I can use the tags as well. You guys, also allows you to copy the most popular tags that people are searching for, and also drop that in your tags. So that is the one way that vidIQ right now can help you grow. And when you do that, you're going to get more views. You can get that where you the low competition. I mean, yeah, low competition, high search. I'm going to get those views because there's not a lot of competition for you. So that's how you get more views using vidIQ. That's one way. The second way you get a lot of views using vidIQ. Oh, hey, wow, welcome to the room. I didn't even see. I have this pinched nerve, so I have to look up when I talk. If I look down on my phone, it's going to trigger my pinched nerve, and so that's why I didn't even know you were here. So thank you. If you can pin your vidIQ link in there, that'd be great. Hey, Mark.
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay,
just
great.
was here
Thank you.
for a minute. I
Okay,
was
yeah. I
saying
just was
you not
yeah.
even go on mod me or nothing, but I knew you wasn't looking down.
Okay. I have to look down. Anybody who has a pinched nerve in the house, poop, you guys understand when you get that. So, and my doctor's like, just don't look down when you do these clubhouse rooms. Anyway, yeah, so that's so I was saying, so that's the one way, is through that keyword search tool right there. The second aspect of the vidIQ tool that you use to get more views and subscribers, and in my opinion, is when you can track your competitors. And this is how you do it. So this is, be creative, like, stay with me. I believe, so it's a free extension, by the way. So I mentioned how this is built on top of it. So it's a browser extension, and it gets access to the back end of YouTube. It's called the API. So they get awarded the back end, so they can get access to data, and with that data, they put it together and they build this tool that makes it functional as utility for other people outside of the app. So so it's free. You get a basic level, and then at the $10 level, which is the first level, then you can actually identify. I don't know how many, 4 or 5. I have like 6 people in your niche that are also creators in your same space, and you can track them. It tells you like their views, how much they're growing. How, like, when their cadence, how much videos they're producing, and they give you graphs, they give you everything. You can color code these people. And the reason why I have that grows true views is because YouTube is solitary and you're by yourself for the most part. So it's you don't have an employee of the month. You're not there's no cubicle next to you with someone who's competing for the top spot on the chain, or your boss's attention, right there, because you're the boss and there's no one. But by using that functionality, it gives you essentially some peers. It gives you some coworkers who are all working here, or side by side. Or I think the best analogy is a realtor, because you're in a realtor, everyone's independent, essentially trying to sell houses, and they're on their own business, but they're all you guys may be in one realty office, and so you're side by side, and someone's going to get recognized as the top seller or earner for the realty for the month. So that's essentially what I look at the vidIQ's competitor, that ability to track and identify people in your niche. And this is how it grows you subs, and this is how it grows you views, is because when you see them doing something and their cadence, and then you see their growth, you're more likely, if you're a competitive person or you have a little competitive spirit, to kick it up a notch and say, I want their views, I want those subscribers, I need to do whatever. And then also, you can also, now it tells you, there's just one that I'm skipping ahead a little bit, the data. It tells you when they are trending, when they're doing a trending video, and this is the data set. So it tells you videos that you have on your own channel that's trending, that's rising and trending, and vidIQ tells you when your competitors are trending, how does that help you? Because then if they're doing a trending video and they're trending and they're having success, if there's nothing stopping you from replicating that. And I have people in my niche, they do the same thing. After I do a video on a specific topic and they look and they can see, because they have vidIQ installed and they see I'm having a certain number of success or whatever certain is rising. There's another data I'm going to tell you about. They then can hop on that trend. I follow social commentary channels, and at some point, if something goes down in pop culture and politics, whatever like that, they're all talking about the same thing. And why are they all talking about the same thing? Because I don't know if they have vidIQ installed, but they are looking at the people in their niche. And when one person does a video and it's blowing up, they say, "Oh shucks, that means that is trending." That there's a lot of search intent for that. There's a lot of search thing. Let me go do a video on that because that's hot. And they do it and they have equal success. I've seen this in real time and talked to Hawa about it. I saw the person who did the copycat. I saw the copycat's video first. Then YouTube said, "Oh, you like this type of content? Here's some more." Then YouTube gave me the original person's video, and I'm looking and I'm like, "This thing's so familiar." This person's copied. Don't do this. She copied verbatim the other person's their cadence, their slang, everything. It was so weird. But anyway, but the reason why that person, and then that person got about 30, I don't know, 30,000 views on that video. The original person had something like 150, 600, whatever, 150,000 views. The reason why that person got 30,000 because they looked at the original person and they said, "You're getting 150,000 views on this topic. I'm going to do the same thing," and they got the views. So that is how matching and tracking your competitors help you get more views, and vidIQ can help you do that. So because you have that functionality at the $10 level, you now can kind of benefit off, do the same thing off your people who are growing. And I know people do this to me. They watch what I'm doing and they do the same thing and they have similar success. So that's the second tool. And how do you want to break in there? I'm talking a lot. I have a third final feature before I get to the new ones. These are just the old features, or no? Okay.
Sorry, what? I don't even know what features you mentioned already. I only
Okay.
heard so.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the first one I did was just the keyword, the SEO, the ability to identify which topics have low. When you're going to do a topic, which one is low search, low competition, high search, and the ability of you to rank in it if you want to, possibly. But when I say rank, I mean if you someone to type of shirt. Back in the day, I think it's still like that. It's a number. So the number one video that comes up with that first page, if you would, you want to rank. So if your video 5,566, no one who discovers you in search is going to find you because no one's going to keep scrolling down till they get to your video. They're going to go to the first few videos that show up. So you want to rank. That's what ranking means, being amongst that top tier. So I did that one. Then I did the competitive thing, the niching, where you can identify 4, 5, 6. I don't know what's the top number. Maybe they give you different numbers based on what level you have. You can identify people who are in your niche and watch their progress and track their progress. And based on their progress, know what topics to run and which videos to do. So you can hop on trends and get views that way. So that's the second one. And the third and final one was through, what was the third and final? Oh, okay. This is the best one, I think, because we had someone in the room was doing this. What vidIQ does, this person was doing it manually. So after they finished talking, I was like, dude, there is a whole uh tool that can do all that manual work. I wonder if he's in here. I wonder if that guy's in here. I don't see him. I mean, is he in here? I don't see him in here. Yeah, he was doing what I'm about to tell you the vidIQ does. Essentially, YouTube gives you access to your channel. You have your YouTube studio. You sign up. You have your video. You can go in the back end. You look at your engagement rate. You look at the users. You look at the trend. If you're monetized, it tells you how much money you made. All that stuff is in YouTube Studio. That's you. That's it. That's it. That's the extent of it. So when I talk about building on top of it, because vidIQ has access to the back end of YouTube, they have access to all the channels, all millions and millions of channels of it. If you have vidIQ extension in your Chrome browser, you now know what everybody's data is. Not all their data, but you know for the most part which tags they use. Without the extension, you would know which tags they use. You also know if they shared it to Reddit. Why is that helpful? If they shared it 3 times to Reddit and they have a high Reddit score, that says there's an audience in Reddit that's eager for this. It's doing well in Reddit. How many people have shared this topic in Reddit? There's not that much. If you're already part of Reddit community, that tells you take that over to the Reddit community and get it. But you have to be part of the Reddit community. You can't drop links over there because it'll roast you. So it also tells you if someone shared it on Facebook, how well it's done on Facebook. If they shared it in other places, you can also see what score they have, like if they optimized it, if they didn't optimize it. So if someone doesn't optimize their video, but they're getting a lot of views, that tells you, they did no optimization. Their vidIQ score is 0, and they have all these views. Maybe I should do a video on this because people are searching for it. It might not be trending any longer, depending on the time when you discover this video. But the fact that it has so much thing with no SEO, Mitch, give you some insight as to whether or not you want to do a video on that. So that's someone you're not necessarily tracking. That's just someone you bump into while you're doing YouTube search. You say, "Whoa, look at this! They got 5 million views, and they did no SEO." You can just dissect that sort of thing. But that's when you have that IQ installed. You get that insight, that information on every single person's channel, just by having their browser extension installed. I think it's just Firefox, Chrome, and there's one other. I don't know if it's a Safari. Maybe, I don't know. So I can figure that out later. You can look it up. So that's the third of the tools. That's the basic level. There's a fourth one that's on the boost level, which is the level above. I just want to say, like, that's like the $10 level. On the next level on boost, there's they help you with titling, and you get this. There's a thumbnail one, which is great for views because it allows you to compare competitors. I've talked about this before. Competitors. Videos, like you type in the word, like I just did a video, for example, on what did I do a video on, it was like something about a CPM. Yeah, so I did one on CPM. I got high, super high CPM. So I did the video on CPM, and so I typed in just CPM, and this shows me other YouTube videos that has the word CPM in it and what their thumbnails look like. And so based on that, how vidIQ's, how this functionality helps me get more views is I can adjust my thumbnail to match the what I, based on what the results that insight gives me. I can say, okay, let me make mine more competitive. Let me add more contrast. Let me add more color or add more saturation. Whenever you add saturation, that makes it pop. If someone's scrolling, 70-80% of people who watch your channel, everybody's channel, small or big, all content, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever, most people are watching that on a mobile device, whether a phone or a tablet, maybe even a laptop, perhaps not on a huge desktop. So they need to be able to see that. So high saturation does that, or high contrast. So Hawa, for example, she doesn't like those bright colors, but she uses like mauves, like what she uses, like grays and light browns and things like that. So how she would make, if you're more into subtle colors, how people do subtle colors stand out is they put high contrast. So you make the black contrast be really, really strong against the grays, and so that makes it pop, that makes it stand out. Someone scrolling may see that compared to if you just have a bunch of stuff on the thumbnail. So anyway, so that thumbnail tool I just didn't want to mention that because that's like the next tier boost. By the way, if you'd like to try that out, what I just explained to you, you can back channel me the word boost, BOOST, and I can give it to you for 1 month free. And during that month, all the videos that you have on your channel, go ahead and put that through the tool. Just be curious, just to see, especially those videos that you know are good but just not doing well. So why is the video not doing well? Plug it in the tool and you'll see, damn, that's my competition. Ignorance is not bliss. Like, you didn't know the reason why you're not doing well is because if someone searches and your video shows up and your thumbnail looks like that and these are the other thumbnails around it, oh my God, go back to the drawing board. YouTube has said you can change your thumbnail, you can change your title. That's not going to impact the way it gets seen. All that does is make you get more views by changing your title and changing your thumbnails. All that's, and we've had people do this who we've come to our audits in our club on Mondays, and we say change your title, change your thumbnails, and they do it, and they're like, wow, I did it. Like the next day, I got more views, or a week later, my video shot up. So clearly, the thumbnails and the titles do matter, and so that thumbnail tool can get you more views, because especially if you did not know that your competition in search was, I mean, it's theoretical because it's possible that you may not show up next to them if you're not ranking or whatever. But theoretically, if that's the competition, if that's the options that people have, they're not clicking your video for a reason because your thumbnail is like trash compared to theirs. Or you may say, my thumbnail is going to crush it because this thumbnail is great, and you might feel better about yourself and go ahead and publish that. So that's what I say about the thumbnails in the video. So that's the third. Oh, that's a fourth one, is a thumbnail, but that's again the next level. So now let's talk about the new exciting new things that they have, that IQ has, which is amazing. The one of them is the one they told us about is daily ideas. So every day, even at the free level, they'll give you like 10 new ideas. So you do an analysis of your current channel, your specific channel, and based on your channel, they'll go and find and they'll look at again, they have access to the title back in the YouTube, and they say do analysis of what's popular in your channel, in your niche, what type of content is popular in your niche that's already exists. Okay, this video right here, this video right here, this content right here, this topic right here, and they'll curate all of those, and they spit out to you every single day ideas based on your channel and your niche and what's popular in your niche in the YouTube ecosystem, and they'll say here's an idea. So a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, a few times people will come and say I don't know any ideas, I don't know what to do a video on. So that takes away at the free level. You have vidIQ installed, it's going to tell you immediately, here's 10 ideas based on your channel and your thing. So that's amazing. And then as you rise in the different tiers, you get more ideas. Like I think in our tier, I think I get something like 50 ideas, and you keep them and you swap them, and it tells you how competitive those ideas are or not. So that's a piece that's something that's new. It's a daily ideas. It was in beta. I'm not sure if it's out of beta yet, but that's a relatively new tool. But even more new, that's more exciting. And I was like, and they didn't even tell me this. I found these two on accident. Oh, so good. One of them is, and I'm just like, did they always have this on your channel on vidIQ traditionally? If you go in the upper right corner, if you've had vidIQ before, you'll see these tiny little scripts in the upper right corner. One of them is view per hour. So they're telling you how many views your independent your channel is getting views per hour. But then it would tell you when you go to other people's channel, I think it tells you what they're getting. But that was just there in the upper corner, and that's kind of like that's for the whole channel. So what vidIQ has now, and I just discovered recently, it's telling you which videos are hot because it identifies which videos currently on a channel. So I went to somebody's channel recently, and I can see there's like 5 or 6 videos on their channel that's still getting views, and there's a bunch of videos on their channel that have no views per hour. That means no one's searching them. They're not getting, for the most part, theoretically. I don't know. There's could be any glitches, but for theoretically, 5 channels out of like let's say 20 videos they've done is popping because they're still getting views. It says this one's 5 views per hour, 6 views, 10 views per hour. Sarah in here, Sarah when she went to viral, she when she right after she went viral, I went to her channel and it was telling me that video that not the viral video, but the viral video had an effect of growing her channel from like 700 subscribers to like 30,000. I think she's at 42,000 now in 8 days. So when she got all those subscribers, all that attention, they started looking at her other videos. So a video that she recently did was getting 802 views per hour. Oh my God, 802 views per hour. And the vidIQ tool told me that. So I can tell her, wow, this video was doing great. We did channel audits yesterday, and these folks did created a channel 6 months ago, and they said, well, we haven't done much content yet, but I was able to tell the person on stage, hey, this video is still doing well, still getting views. This one right here is still doing well, and this one's still doing well. And they're like, how did you know that? I know that because I have vidIQ installed, and vidIQ is telling me because they have access to YouTube backend. YouTube backend is identifying which videos is hot. Now, how do you use that information and insight for you to get more views, for you to get more subscribers? Let me get some water because I'm talking a lot. I'm getting alerts. Sorry, I'm in my car. I should start the heater up in my car. Yeah, so how do you use that information of the views per hour of someone else's channel? The way you do that is that gives you insight as to, again, similar to looking at your competitors or people in your niche, how they're growing or what they're doing. That tells you which videos does well and which videos not. And also, I think even more importantly, sometimes people start these channels and they have these big dogs and they're doing really well and they're crushing it, and then they switch niches or they start talking about something else, right? You are talking about what they originally did. Let's say your content compared to theirs was what they originally did their channel on, right? The original. They've gone on. They're talking about other stuff. So their new thing, or they're now changed formats. They're doing vlogging, and they used to do digital marketing sit down channels. So you have vidIQ installed. You look at their channel, and you can see there are videos that they did a long time ago that's still rising, that they're still getting views. So that means these videos are still hot. This person's left the building. They're not even talking about this. That's an opportunity for you because all those people looking for that, you know what they're looking at? They're looking at stale content. Because let's say a year ago, 2 years ago, they were niched down in what you're doing now, and that those people are still discovering that video, and that video is still getting views, even though it was it was a year, 2 years ago. The person's moved on. So that tells you go to that video. A couple of things. While you're at that video, you can update it. Put the same title they use. say 2022 version, and then you can actually go to them and go into their thing and see what questions that people are asking in the comment section. If there's a lot of views, that means that video is still hot. There's still people asking questions, and so you can find insight for what to do your next video on, or you can, here's how you get the subscribers out of them. Since you're in the same niche, you can actually start answering questions, and so when you answer questions, people are like, oh, I was looking for this. Thanks, my man. Thanks, my dude. That's you. You just saved me $50 and I can install this carburetor. I was gonna do it myself and I didn't know how it was missing. Now you told me this answer. Thanks. And they'll look at your account and they say, oh, you're doing the same thing. Oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. Let me subscribe. So that's how you use that tool to get more subscribers, is because you can go and see what's trending in your competitor, someone in your same niche. The example I use is they're moved on, but you don't have to use somebody moved on. You can use somebody that's still actively in your same niche is doing stuff, because it's not a pie. There's still room. Like I said about my social justice example, there'll be times when every single channel that I'm watching, every social commentary channel that I'm watching is talking about the same topic, and each of them have like thousands and thousands of views. So clearly there's enough views for everyone to go along. So it doesn't have to be someone who left your niche or whatever like that, and they're just crushing it. And then you can say, oh, this video is doing well, let me do a similar video in that category, but make it my own, something similar, because clearly that's something that's hot. So that's the second new tool, the one I just discovered accidentally. The third and final one that I discovered accidentally was the AI based titling. So I did a video, I titled it a certain way. I thought it was cute. It had like keywords in it. It was also like clickbaity in the beginning. And I was like, hey, this sounds good. I'm ready to go. Oop, I need to start this car. Yeah, so I was okay, I'm ready to go. I'm done. Done my work. So then I looked down and I saw vidIQ had this thing that said, would you like to AI driven alternative titles? I'm like, what is this? This is new. Sure, why not? I love AI, which means artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence essentially just goes and scrapes scrapes the universe, scrapes the webverse, and finds stuff that's works, find things that's, so it's artificial. It's not like a human doing it. And so it's fast and quick and usually efficient and many times accurate. It gives me these great titles. I'm like, oh man, I never would have thought to put this word right there. And they threw in a couple of other keywords that's trending. And then it gave me a dash. I didn't have a dash. I'm like, and it looks more aesthetically pleasing. And they put the more important phraseology in the beginning, because, after it's 100 characters you get for a title, but the first 70 or so characters you can see when you're scrolling. So it says you got all this important stuff in the back end. JJ, how about you put this in the front end? I'm like, wow, that was great. And so that's a new function of functionality if you haven't seen it already in vidIQ, and I'm hoping it's on all levels, not just Boost level. But if you ask for my Boost, you can try it out. And so yeah, that help with the titling was even more because it's AI driven. It's based on what's been successful in the past, and it says you have a video that you're about to produce that's already had success. These are the titles that have already been successful. Your title, it's all right. So you want to use one of these, and so you just click a button, it automatically populates it. Like, dumb. I was like, oh my god, this is so great. So that's the third and final new functionality. I talked about 3 old ones plus a Boost level one, and then and there's just data, like I mentioned earlier. Like they're giving me access to what video is trending, what videos on my channel is trending. That's something YouTube's going to give you too soon, or they may already do that actually. So which video is trending, and then which videos people who've identified, or just any, I don't know if it's my people have identified what videos they have that's trending, so you can hop on. That helps you hop on their trends. So that's essentially the lecture. Let me see, 6:14. So yeah, okay, so did this in about 34 minutes or something like that. So that's the answer. That's essentially the 3 ways that you can use vidIQ tools to use to get more views, to get more subscribers. 3 ways using the existing tools, and 3 new tools that help you get more views and subscribers that are amazing. And I've used those the newest ones already, and it's helped me save time. And so just wanted to let you guys know. I hope that was helpful for you. If you did find value in that, I want to invite you, if you're not already a subscriber, to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so YouTube will let you know every time that I upload a new video. So this is part of a series where I'm taking the best of content that I create over on Clubhouse and bringing them over to my YouTube channel, because I feel like there's another audience there who may get value from it. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you. Watch this video and this video. And in the meantime, cue my outro music. Ba-da, ba-da, boom.